Looking for a maintenance partner to care for your business aircraft? Well, then you need to meet Nathan Winkle. From the National Business Aviation Association, this is Flight Plan. I'm Pete Combs with your trusted source for business aviation news. Choosing a maintenance, repair, and overhaul provider, an MRO, is nothing you should take lightly. Just ask Nathan Winkle. He's chairman of the NBAA Maintenance Committee. But he says you might not guess the least important thing that you should consider in making that choice.
For me, that's cost. Certainly cost is a factor, but our business is an on-demand business. What's most important, especially with ADS-B and these NextGen mandates getting closer and closer, is can we get done what we need done in the time we have and for the money we've committed? So if a given MRO quotes you 10 days for the project and $20,000 for the work, you need to know that you can actually deliver that. So that's really important. And then the availability to get into the MRO is becoming increasingly difficult.
Why so difficult? Well, Nathan says it's about the perfect storm involving a need for more technicians and, at the same time, those ADS-B and NextGen mandates that are upon us. Now more than ever, he says, it's vital that you keep one eye on the calendar.
Absolutely. The best thing an aircraft owner or operator can do is start planning a year in advance and working with a couple of MROs to get proposals going, get slots committed. And these days, if you aren't committing for a big package 6 to 8 months out, you're not going to be able to do what you need to do from an inspection standpoint and keep the availability of the aircraft where your owner wants it to be.
Another factor in choosing an MRO, forming a long-lasting relationship.
Our whole business is all about relationships, everything we do. And so I think it's important to know who the actual, not necessarily the sales guys, although that does help, but who the actual technicians that are going to be managing and working on your project, who they are, what they do, kind of what their work ethic is, what their mindset is. Because at the end of the day, it's up to typically the DOM or a pilot and those folks on the floor at the MRO to deliver the product that everyone else is promised and committed to. So I do think it's about having a good relationship with the MRO. But again, that comes back to planning and recognizing that everybody's on the same team and needing to get the aircraft out in a given time frame on a given budget with no discrepancies, because we can't afford to come back.
But what about those times when you face maintenance challenges while on assignment? I'll have that for you in just a moment. But first, please, this message.
NBAA members, did you know that NBAA offers local business aviation events all across the country each year? NBAA's regional forums provide education, networking, static displays of aircraft, and more. Come see business aviation in your backyard. Learn more by visiting www.nbaa.org/events.
Welcome back to NBAA's Flight Plan. I'm Pete Combs. I'm talking with the head of NBAA's Maintenance Committee, Nathan Winkle, about some of the things you want to consider when you're looking for a maintenance provider, an MRO. And we've talked about cost being the least of these factors. Rather, he says, you want to pick an organization you're confident can handle your project on time and on budget. We also talked about the absolute necessity for planning ahead. Many of the issues you'll want an MRO to handle for you can and should be planned as much as a year in advance. Finally, Nathan says, consider what you need while away from your base on assignment.
In the last probably 10 years, there has been a big focus from the MRO community on developing road crews. There's trucks, there's airplanes dedicated to this type of support. There's teams based all around the world from manufacturers and MROs alike to support in-service airplanes and those out-of-the-way AOG events. You know, the AOG never happens at the service center's front door. It always happens in the worst possible place. So the global economy and global business market that these airplanes support, the MROs have recognized that, and they've really, in my mind, stepped up from a strategic perspective, locating qualified people, tools, and parts different places around the world.
For more information, check the link nbaa.org/maintenance. And that's the latest from the National Business Aviation Association. I'm Pete Combs. Thanks for listening to Flight Plan.